Welcome back to hell. Why do I make that joke all the time? Either way, welcome back to Blue Skies. Chicken is looking for spiders for some reason. I don't know. I learned chickens that my chicken likes spiders. Anyway, let's just jump into it. I'm dead inside. As I slowly rouse back into consciousness, I let out a long sigh, watching the framed stream of sunlight permeate my room. I'm still feeling a little bit drowsy, so I just wait. Why does my chest feel so warm? As my eyes take to the sign in front of me, the memories of last night come flooding back. The cuts, the fear on her face, the plea to stay with me overnight. One of her sleeves had pushed up slightly, affording me a sight I'd rather not have access to. Seeing such marks on Yuri's pale arm, some of which look fairly new. I wince, as I thought it's my own flesh which bears the scars. Why? How? So many questions. A small sound from Yuri pulls me away from the flurry of thoughts in my head. It sounds like a constant sigh. As I look slowly, I can make out a small smile on her face as she clings onto me a little harder. A wave of happiness coursed through me. Having seen her scars again feels a little foreign. Still, feels incredible how someone you love curl up against you in their sleep. Something about the physical closeness during such an intimate moment. I reach out and gently stroke the top of her head. She smells faintly like of lavender. Her hair is soft and silken. It's a given that someone like Yuri takes care of herself. I suppose. No parents around. Is that when she started? No. I don't want this moment ruined by anything. We can talk all about that stuff later. I just want to see her happy. So for now, I just focus on the smell of her softness of the hair, along with the feel of her head on her chest. I don't know how long we stay in this peaceful embrace, but eventually Yuri stirs, offering me a smile as she rises from my chest. Rubbing her eyes as she slowly sits up, she lets out a small yawn. There's silence for a moment. You were up before I was? Yeah, hard to believe, right? Don't worry. I find it just as hard to believe as you do. My attempt at humor is weak. Yuri laughs as well, but it's easy to tell it's a little forced. There's no denying attention. The elephant in the room may have been averted while we were asleep, but there's no escape now. So, Yuri, I was wondering. She abruptly gets out of my bed and heads towards the door, without a glance back in my direction as she speaks. Her abrasive tone surprises me. Let's make breakfast, Hope. But, please? She turns to face me, and while she isn't making eye contact, I can read the message on her face. Not yet. Weirdly, I climb out of bed and follow her down the hallway, wondering where the rest of the day will go. To say that breakfast wasn't an uncomfortable affair would be quite the understatement. Yuri wasn't making eye contact and even stopped frequently to ensure her sleeves were completely covering her wrists. Every time she picked up a knife to cut some food, I couldn't help but wince. My mind was doing me no favors. Has she cut herself with a knife? Last night she used a razor blade. Does she have stashed them at home? Or is her cutting habits related to her knife collecting hobby? Tension has grown tenfold since she's woken up. I'm desperately trying to think of a way to break the uneasy silence, but I can't come up with anything. Diplomacy can only get me so far. How am I meant to even approach the topic? I've never had a friend who self-harms before. I stare into the last remaining crumb of a meal. Eating in silence is proven to be unbelievably awkward. Desperate for something to do, I stand up and head for the sink. At least the prospect of washing up my plate gives me something to focus on. As I stand by the sink, Yuri's voice pierces me the silence. I'm really sorry. For what? She gestures around her. For this. For everything. I dump the unwashed plate into the sink and walk over to her. She stares forward longingly at the ground. You don't have to apologize for anything. Seriously. Am I the only person who knows? Yes. Oh, sorry if I'm presumptuous, but I imagine it must be really hard, right? Very much so. Uh, it's a little overwhelming. I take one of her hands in mine. She's shaking. It's okay, Yuri. It's okay. Just take your time. There's no rush. She nods. I imagine you probably have a few questions you want to ask. There's no point in trying to beat around the bush here. Yes, there are. I wouldn't how direct that sounds, but again, I am really curious. So I can't exactly win either way, can I? She takes a deep breath. What would you like to know? Oh, babe, where do I begin? How long has she been an orphan for? When did she start cutting? There's so many choices. She probably started this understanding of her self-harm though. Well, why do you do it? She closes her eyes and slowly lets the breath out of her nose. She's still closing her eyes as she talks. It's a way of coping. Huh? It's how I deal with the sadness and self-loathing within. Self-loathing? People have never liked me, Hope. All throughout my life, I've never been accepted. People never understood me, nor did they take the time to try to. I've never been particularly sociable. As you can see, I much prefer to keep to myself. Now that alone wouldn't be too bad. Some people misread and show introversion, and combined with my fascination with horror and knife collecting hobby, these things combined tend to make people see me as creepy, a freak, an outcast. That quiet girl in the back doesn't speak up much. The girl fantasizes about the macabre, who's fantasized about the macabre. It's no wonder they judged me. Anyway, so that's why. She takes a deep breath. She takes a few deep, chic breaths in an attempt to calm herself down. I didn't realize how difficult this must be for you to talk about. I'm so sorry. The angry look on her face startles me. No, don't you ever apologize for my own shortcomings, Hope. I deserve to be weak. You don't. Why do you even think that? Because, like I said, I was always judged for who I was. Initially, I thought it was everyone else who was wrong. She laughed bitterly. Oh, such arrogance. No, it wasn't them who was wrong. It was me. But if there was just one person who judged me in such a way, well, I'd be inclined to believe the problem lied in them. But it wasn't just that one person. It was everyone. It gets to the point where you finally realize that it's not them who's the problem. It's you. It was bad. But I could deal with it because I at least had my parents to help me. Given that I'm the first person who knows of her self-harm, does that mean by as if reading my mind, Yuri answered the question? No, not even my parents knew. And that's when it began. I hated keeping self-harm from them. I didn't want them to know. It scared me enough as it was, and I couldn't imagine how much it could scare them. I was terrified when I first tried it. I remember the day it started. Some other students mocked me relentlessly because I stuttered during a class reading. I used to dread reading out loud. And I remember, at lunchtime, I locked myself in the bathroom stalls. I didn't mean to cut myself. I just wanted to admire one of my knives. Despite being a constant reminder of what's coming with me, what's wrong with me, just holding something so dear to me was comforting. I gripped it too hard, and that's when I discovered it. The rush. The rush that felt like the perfect release. It was tangible, but it was also terrifying. It felt so good, having that physical release. But I was in shock. I couldn't believe what I've done. I felt like such a freak. I don't know what to say. Words are beyond me at this point. How are you meant to reply to what I'm hearing? My parents were the only one who accepted me for who I was. Even though they didn't know about the self-harm, they never questioned my judged me for my taste of literature, nor did they question my interest in knives. While school was a torment, I sought solace in knowing that no matter how bad it got, it would get. I was safe at home. Fresh tears started to trickle down her face once more. Until they died. And just like that, I had lost them. The only support I've ever had. I reached out to brush away Yuri's tears. She doesn't move, nor do anything else to acknowledge that I'm there. Although her heart is wrenching explanation, Yuri's been trying to maintain control over her voice and face. The stuttering pain expression that occasionally flickered down over her features showed all I needed to know. As I scoop her into my arms, the dam that she's been trying so hard to contain finally burst. She sobbed relentlessly into my chest, and her anguished cries fills the room. I miss him so much, Hope. My vision is blurry as she drenches in front of my shirt. I can physically feel her cries on my chest, right next to my heart. I want to see them again. I want to stop pretending that the person I'm in arms with now is my dad. If there isn't anything I'd give to hear them ask me how my day was, even if it was awful, anything at all, please. My brain is in a frenzy. Say something, Hope. Yuri, it's gonna be okay. You're not alone anymore. I'm here. I'm with you. And I'm never going to leave you. I promise. She looks up with big, wet purple eyes. You really mean that? Because I don't know what I'd do if I lost you as well, Hope. Of course I mean it. I swear on it. You're my girlfriend and I love you. Even after everything I just told you? She gestures miserably to her wrists. Even with these? The venomous disdain in her voice is frightening to hear. I wasn't even sure she was capable of such scorn? Negativity? I love you who you are, Yuri. Which includes everything you hate about yourself. Scars or not, you're my girlfriend. Nothing's gonna change that. Oh, Hope. Oh, fuck! The strange look on her face, with her breathing grows ragged and fast-paced. Those eyes scare me. Yuri? Are you okay? Sorry. There's so much to take in. Her hand suddenly darted to her wrist. In an instant, I suddenly realized the situation we're in. Yuri, stay with me. Please. I can't. Yes, you can. Focus on my voice. Look at me. I'm doing my absolute best not to descend into an utter state of panic. For both our sakes, I can't let her start cutting again. She's suddenly scratching at the flesh of her wrist. It starts off slow, but quickly grows more frequently and intensely. In desperation, I reach for her hand. Yuri, just talk to me. Say something. Anything. What's going on in your mind? I'm not sure asking her to describe the urge is going to help. It could actually be harmful. But I'm finding it hard to think straight in a tiny voice of reason, and my head is telling me that distracting her, forcing her to talk to me is the right thing to do. I need a release. Whatever I feel like this, She tries to wrench her hands free from my grip, but there's no way she's getting free. I tilt her head up as to make eye contact with me. My body needs the pain. I need the control. The cutting. It helps me make sense of everything. Sense of everything? She swallows and her eyes focus on me. The physical pain is something tangible that I can actually feel. Something I can make sense of. When I feel emotionally overwhelmed, I feel so powerless. The cutting helps me regain that control that I desperately need. It sounds really... I know it sounds crazy, but it helps me feel alive. When I'm so mentally overwhelmed, the numbness is without mercy. So I need something to focus on. And that's exactly where the pain serves as. But why do you have to do it why do you have to use a blade? Can't you just, I don't know, pinch yourself? Or scratch? You have an idea what the urge is like, Hope. My whole body screams for release. Scratching or pinching it would never satisfy that urge. Yuri's breathing slowly grows more regular. She's no longer trying to wrench her arms free from her grasp, so I tenderly let her go through, though I remain close, anticipating another attempt. I've never been in the position where I had the urge to cut when I'm around someone else. Do you still feel near the cut? Yes, but it's a lot more manageable now. I think I'll be okay. My God, am I glad to hear that? I have no idea how to deal with this. I told you I was a freak. You're not a freak. You've just been through a lot, and cutting happens to be how you deal with the trauma. It's hardly a healthy coping mechanism, though, is it? Well, no, no, it isn't, and it doesn't ever need to be said. Okay, so yeah, it isn't a healthy coping mechanism at all. But either way, I'm glad you told me. Why are you glad, Hope? And more importantly, how can you not think I'm a freak? I I don't know. I need a drink, sorry. Because my voice is like starting to die out quickly. It makes me sad, sure, but it doesn't creep me out. Plus, I like to think I have an open mind, you know? Yuri smiles ruefully at my words. You remind me a little of my father. He is the one who introduced me to knives, back when I was a little girl. As eager as I want to learn about her self-harm, I'm grateful that it's an opportunity to discuss something else. The incident now is just staggering. What were your parents like? Oh, they were wonderful. I couldn't have asked for better. You never told me how you first got into horror. But it's a guess, but was it your parents who introduced you to the genre? And after everything that's happened so far today, the genuine smile on her face is truly a sight to behold. How did you know? I'm psychic. I'm kidding. I'm just very intuitive. I just had an idea. Why don't you tell me more about them over a nice cup of tea? I don't know about you, but I'm definitely in the mood for a hot drink. I'd like that a lot. Awesome. Let's get started then. As I was hoping, the change topic combined with the relaxing tea has really helped bring a sense of normalcy to today. Although, the after effects of the morning still linger in the air, Yuri's still on edge, but at least we can work around it. Funnily enough, me getting into horror actually stemmed completely from chance. What do you mean? Well, one day, both my parents were out. It was a rainy day, so I couldn't go outside. Naturally, I was confined to the house. That makes sense. Oh yeah, my throat's still dry. I hate dry throats. Anyway, I was wandering around, looking for something new to read. I just happened to find a copy of an old ghost story my father left out, and immediately began reading. Given the book was for adults, I didn't really understand what was going on, but I was able to get the general gist. When my parents came back, my father was surprised to see me reading it. Clearly, he didn't expect that I like it. I remember how my mother scolded him for being so careless. She didn't like the idea of her young daughter reading such a dark tale. I remember he pretended to be apologetic, but when she was out of sight, he eagerly asked me what he made of the story so far. It was obvious that I didn't really understand it, so he offered to read it to me, helping me out with the more complex words and understanding the story as it progressed. What was the story about? It must be pretty good if you remember it so well. Ah, you see, it's an old Victorian novel about a young governess who was sent to look after her family's young children after summer home. And there it is, the passionate fire in her eyes, the type of the favor that only seen when Yuri talks about their interests holds dear to her. How could someone ever shame someone for such a passion? It sickens me how cruel people can be. She begins to see figures of a man and woman around the house, but the servants of the house deny seeing such figments. Soon, the governess learns that per predecessor used to have a relationship with another employee, and before these two died, they spent much time with the children. Given that the figures seem to come and go at will, and haven't been seen by other employees, she quickly suspects that they are supernatural in nature. I can't quite remember the ending, but what I'll never forget is the clear writing. We, as readers, are never given any concrete answers as to these figures are real, or merely a figment of her imagination. Was the governess just hallucinating, or did the ghosts of these people really prowl around the house? Sounds to me like she was imagining it, to be honest. Although it does seem pretty coincidental how the ghosts seem to be perfectly matched the profile of her predecessor and her lover. Indeed, what's more is that the young boy is revealed to have been expelled, and it's heavily hinted that what he did to earn such a punishment was terrible in nature. With such a suspicious outlook, it's natural for the reader to doubt the child's claim of innocence, especially when the governess asks if these two saw figures, ghostly aspirations, creepy suspicious children. I feel like the hairs on my back and my neck stand up. Eesh. Even from Yuri's description, the plot sounds exponentially gripping. Oh fuck! I didn't read that one. There's a dreamy tone in Yuri's voice as he speaks, and I remember my father encouraged me to question whether the ghosts were real. As a child, I took things at face value. The governess said she saw them, so that's what I wanted to believe. That was what I believed, but he taught me how to approach things from a different angle, and how to consider other viewpoints. In turn, it helped me broaden my appreciation for clever writing. And to this day, I still wonder if the ghosts are real. So your analytical approach comes from your dad. I suppose you can say that, yes. He was always metaphorical and organized in nature, so given that, his personality rubbed off on me. I think he'd be pretty proud of you, Yuri. If you could see you right now. Oh fuck, you dense moron! Ah, you dense moron, you dense moron, you dense moron! This is a dense moron, I'm telling you. Anyway, tears slowly leaked down her face once more. Would he? I hid so much from him. I pulled her close to me, tenderly caressing her cheek with my hands. We all have our demons, Yuri. Everyone has things they regret, and things they don't want other people to know. To hell with other people if they judge you for things you liked, or your quiet nature. Because I love your characteristics. Even if you hate them, I love them. They make you who you are. If you enjoy horror, if you enjoy collecting lives, who has any right to shame you for it? Fuck them. They don't know any better. Oh, fuck. I nearly fell, by the way. But yeah. Moral of the story, fuck people who judge you for your shit. Oh. There you go. She gives me a watery smile. Thank you, Hope. You really do mean a lot to me. I know I read that wrong, but fuck you. I'm so glad we met. Having someone like you in my life, I can't describe it in words. Wow, wait. Must be tough then. Even if you can't describe it. Yuri makes a sound that sounds like a laugh or a sob. Hey Yuri. Yes, Hope. If you don't mind me asking, when did your parents, If she starts crying, I'm calling him a dense idiot, I swear to God. It's okay if you don't want to answer. Last February. It was a car crash. Right. I'm so sorry. It was probably insensitive for me to even ask. It wasn't. I've been keeping a lot of things from you. So it's only fair that I should stop doing that. After all, you are my boyfriend now. It still feels a little weird saying that. Not in a bad way, though. I feel the exact same way, you know? I still find it hard to believe that such a beautiful, intelligent girl fell for me. I must be the luckiest guy on the planet. Don't be silly, Hope. You have such a big heart. Any girl would be lucky to have you. To be honest, I'm surprised you and Sayori. Sayori and I? Yeah, well, yes, well, given you were childhood friends. I imagine you would have gotten closer to her after seeing her again. She would have been a much better girlfriend too. Hey, look at me. Look at me. By the way, speaking of that, I don't think so, considering what we dealt with last time. No. No. I mean, unlike her, she didn't ignore me after. Unlike Yuri, unlike Sayori, Yuri didn't fucking ignore me right after I called her, like, mid something. Well, Sayori ignored my ass. Yuri was willing to open up. Anyway, look at me. I take a little bit of it takes a little bit of coaxing, but she eventually she reluctantly makes eye contact. Sayori will always be a friend of mine. Yes, we have that history together, but I'm not living in the past. You and I have a special kind of connection I can't explain. There's something about you that drew me in all those months ago. But she's so happy, so energetic and bubbly. Wouldn't you rather have a girl like that instead of a broken, miserable best like me? Ironically, those were the same words I asked my ex-girlfriend. Not exactly those words, but close enough. God, I'm depressed. I shake my head. That's not how I see things, Yuri. Surprisingly, she doesn't back down. Answer the question, Hope. I stare at her, both confused and surprised. I'd rather have you. Even though I'm an ugly freak with these horrible scars all over me. Again, what I told my ex-girlfriend. My scars are mental, though. Where the... Fuck! We already did the Natsuki. Yeah, let's overwrite this one, because we already did the Natsuki series, so I'm done. I'm going with the scars are beautiful. Part. Here's the thing, I don't know what to do after this, like, starting here. Starting episode Act 3, I am just on my own. Usually I'd go, like, different videos to try to find something. No, I'm on my own now. I'm on my own. Like, I'm too far ahead from everyone else to even know. Well, at the time I'm recording this. By the time it's up, those videos are uploaded. I'm behind on uploadings. Anyway. Your scars are beautiful. Let's go with your scars are beautiful. They're not horrible, Yuri. Your scars are beautiful. No. No, they aren't. They're nothing but hideous reminders of who I am. But, sorry. But you might have... Fuck! It's okay. I'm sorry I'm not reading it. Let me just quickly... save that. You'll understand why in a bit. We're back here. Let's go to your beautiful remark this time. Yuri, either with or without your scars, you're beautiful. Nothing will ever change that, okay? No one will ever able to convince me otherwise. I chose you for a reason, and never forget that. Ah, fuck my hand. I don't know. It's not that easy. I know it isn't. Just try and remember, okay? I'll try my best, Hope. You don't look particularly convinced. It's not that I doubt the integrity of your words. I just spent my entire life feeling this way. So as much as your words are a breath of fresh air, that's one thing to hear them. Another thing entirely to internalize them. I'll be with you as long as it takes. She closed her eyes and squeezed my hand. Hearing that means so much that you could even ever imagine. I'm glad I went this time with the other choice, because I feel like an idiot. I feel like an idiot. Anyway, the sound of my stomach loud gargling fills the room. Wow. Amazing time as ever, Hope. I'm sorry. It's okay. I suppose it's a good time to go make some food, don't you think? Are you sure? Yes. I think it's time for a return to normalcy will do us good. Okay. Guess it makes sense. I did find a dish online a few days ago that I want to try. Do you have any daikon by any chance? I wouldn't even know where to begin cooking the daikon radish. I'll take this now. I think the grocery store has some. Lead the way. By the way, Hope. Thank you for listening to me. It was daunting to share my self-harm with another person. After balling up for so long, I was scared how you could react. I didn't say the wrong thing, did I? No, of course not. You've been really understanding, and most importantly, accepting. That's what I love about you. How tolerant you are. And, well, many other things. Well, I rubbed the back of my neck in embarrassment. Yuri smiles bashfully at me. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'll stop embarrassing you now. Let's go. That was a nice up. We got talking. All secrets are allowed out. And you're gonna end it. It's been 30 minutes of recording this episode. I almost fucked up there at the end. Anyway, let's just... It was this one we fucked up on. So yeah, let's just overwrite that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.